What does it have? What does that mean in terms of this year, in terms of the impact that has on the planning for a lot of companies, whether they stay flexible over the course of this year and beyond?
Well, it's quite interesting. One of the big challenges, of course, is ensuring that your workforce is engaged and you can retain them appropriately. So one of the things that we're seeing is a lot more move towards digital learning and a number of aspects of talent management, excuse me, that enables organisations to deal with their workforce in a more appropriate way when they're not in the office.
Jonathan, I was alluding to the fact that many corporates had really hoped to put this phase behind them, in some more than others. Banks in particular on Wall Street were determined to get their employees back into the office, traders they wanted at their desks. And there was a pretty strong communication that, you have the vaccine and you come back to work, otherwise you'll end up on a list that you do not want to be on. Do you think that same logic is going to hold this year, though, because we've got such a transmissible variant?
I don't think it is, because I think there are a couple of challenges to that. I mean, we've heard about some of the big banks really suffering from people not going for that mandated attendance in the office. And if you like, Pandora is out of the box now. We've all got used to a different type of working environment. I don't think people want to be totally working from home, but they want some form of hybrid opportunity where they combine working from home and working from the office. And if that's taken away from them, they will see that as a lack of flexibility. And in this period of time where we're seeing greater staff attrition, I think that would be a very dangerous thing for workforces to be mandated back to the office. So I think we'll see an easing of that type of approach, and people will be invited to take a more flexible view.
Jonathan, I want to combine your first answer and your second answer. And you said about engagement. That was your first answer. It was all about engagement. And then you talked about we've got used to it. The Pandora's box, so to speak. We're out of it now. But the secret is, and maybe this is my experience, I find home education, home modules, online stuff, I find it quite boring. And I've got to be honest, I don't feel as engaged as when I'm in a room with someone, having that social contact as well. So has there been an evolution in how these models and how these modules come to the individual workplace as well? Because I've got to say that the historical model just fills me with, I don't know, tedium.
Steve, to some extent, I agree with you. I mean, particularly when all we tried to do with e-learning in the past couple of decades was deliver what would have been a classroom course in a linear way online. It's akin to reading a book with a bit more click next to continue on your screen. You're quite right. That is not the way to do it. And for many years, actually, even pre-pandemic, we were working towards what we call a blended learning model. That's respecting the fact that we all like to interact with an expert facilitator at the appropriate time. But if you're transferring knowledge and theory to someone, that can be done very effectively via a screen and digital means. But it's not just about chalk and talk, click next to continue, look at some graphics and so on the screen. There are many different modalities that can be used. And it's combining those in an effective way to deliver every aspect of the curriculum that makes it engaging and interactive. And we're getting lots of feedback from customers now that those new methodologies are working really well. For instance, McKinsey have chosen to convert their entire corporate learning academy, which was mainly classroom delivered, into a blended learning program that we're doing for them. And that needs to be designed from the ground up, with every component being considered very carefully about how it integrates together. And that's what makes for interesting learning. And you would find the components that you do in your own time from home or from wherever, on your tablet or whatever you wish to do them on, you would find those engaging.
Jonathan, this was a specialised area. It was companies such as yourself, it was companies such as Pearson as well. Now I would imagine there's a hell of a lot of tourists coming into this space saying, yeah, we can do that. We can put our best and brightest programmers onto this as well. Has it become a crowded space?
To be honest, it's always been crowded. I started in this in 1997 when I bought a video training business and converted it to an e-learning company. And it's always been a pretty fragmented, from the content perspective, a pretty cottage-style industry. There are a few large players, of which we're one. And we're not seeing any particular new entrants at the moment, but we are seeing that the world is getting a lot busier. And certainly large organizations are seeking suppliers of scale who can not only deliver a global learning program, but also consider the local interpretation of that. Because let's not forget that whilst you need a global strategy to deliver learning, you also need to respect the local culture of the way people learn in different territories.